Good morning, everyone. Welcome to VIP Pre-Market Prep. Sorry for the delay. Had a bunch of technical issues. It happens once every few weeks or whatever. My computer just like freaks out when I come in the morning, and sorry about that. Anyway, it's 9:09. I definitely want to finish before the market opens because there's a lot of stuff going on, and I might want to make some trades. You can see this higher. But anyway, let's go down to the mark indices first. Q, SPY, ARC, Bitcoin. At this point, everything comes down to the FOMC decision tomorrow morning. I don't know. I've been spending the last 15, 20 minutes working on my problems here. So I don't know if there was other macro news that came out, like the housing data we're waiting for. But as I explained in the VIP trading room, I don't think that's so important, so impactful to market action today. It's all about the Fed tomorrow and what they're going to do with 0.75% or 1%, what their commentary is going to be. So you all know the charts, and what we're looking at this point is the 200-week moving average is their support line here for QQQ. Any number of catalysts can get a spike down to that 200-week moving average level, and then it's very important to hold that level. So we'll see what happens, and Q and SPY have similar charts. Okay. Meanwhile, we keep on stock picking, and meanwhile, we keep on looking for stocks that can buck the market trend. So here we go. RUM was a huge success. We nailed this from 1020. We had a big, awesome live stream that now has 10,000 views. We did a free preview of this VIP prep, and we continued that open to the public all day yesterday. Over 10,000 views on Rumble. So that was very exciting, nailing this. Over here this morning, we did have initial support at 1580 in after market yesterday and also in pre-market this morning, but now it's below 1580. So let's look at the other support levels. The ultimate support level for short-term trading we're looking at is $14, right? There was a triple top here. It exploded above that. As far as trading goes, I would look, I personally, I would be interested in buying some shares back right above 14 for trading. I have been selling on the way up. My position is probably now 30% of what it was when I got in at 1020. So I've been selling on the way up. I'll be looking for dips to buy. I think dips are buyable, and you all know the story. You know about the fundamentals. You know about the valuation. Is a very expensive company, huge sentiment premium. So you can expect at different times opportunities when shorts and fundamentals and hedge funds try to slam this down. Those might be buying opportunities at the right prices. Okay, so that's something I'll be looking at. To the upside, we don't have the historical chart here. Unfortunately, these apps are terrible at doing that when you have these SPACs merging. But 1850 is the high, is really the all-time high for CFEI when the Joe Rogan news came out. So you have to break 1850 to really break out of this. Okay, and I put some notes in the VIP trading room about the possibility that this stock can see somewhere in the 22 to 42 range on a blowout top within the next few days. That's on the table. Not going to say it's going to happen, and I'm not going to chase it. I'm happy that I sold on the way up, and I'll only buy on drops, particularly again at slightly above 14 seems like a great place to buy. Who knows? I might step in a little bit earlier. So RUM's been a huge success for us. Just be careful with this one. I'm looking forward to. I emailed CBOE last night to ask them for weekly options. This will be an excellent, awesome stock to sell weekly covered calls on. Excellent stock to sell puts on because the premiums are going to be through the roof with strong opinions on both sides, bull and bear, and that may actually cause the stock to be range bound while people expect big volatility. It's a perfect scenario for selling options. So I'm looking forward to those possibilities. Okay, so that's the story with RUM. Now, last night, we have a bunch of news that we'll get to, but last night in Wolf Financial Spaces, we came in second place with our previous picks last week of Celsius, SCELH, and Frey, FREY. Both of those were green. I think it was a 4.5% average return on those two trade of the week picks on a very bad week. So this week, we picked VTSI and UUUU. So VTSI, really perfect story trade because you got everything going for it. You got fundamental sentiment, catalysts, and technicals, right? 25 in a sector that's not slowing down in any kind of recessionary fears. We have the catalysts of $9 million in federal government orders. We have the sentiment of a new CEO coming on, a new co-CEO coming on and making an inside purchase last week. Then you have the technicals, 2200 bullish cross. You have a 50-week moving average beat over here. Now, RSI is starting to get a little stretch there. On the daily, we're at 76. On the weekly, we're at 65. So that is the only thing that is a problem with this setup right now is the RSI seems a little bit stretched, maybe a little bit overbought, but I really like this with the 50-week moving average break. I think it's clear skies to 7 to 750. I think 7 to 750 is the target. So maybe this is something that's viable on pullbacks. I noted yesterday that 50-week moving average would be a great place to get it on a pullback. It almost touched it in the morning yesterday. So anyway, that's the trade of the week for us. Another one I picked out is UUUU. Now, this one, not a strong conviction on it because we don't really have the catalyst yet. The movements in uranium have been extremely unpredictable because the catalyst and the sentiment shifts have been based mostly on geopolitics and the price of oil, which are very hard to predict. But technically, I see that this is down by the 50-day moving average, which was a great entry last time it was here. The RSI is also very low at levels where it was last time before it popped. And now you have a 2200 bullish cross that's probably going to be completed by tomorrow on the daily. So UUUU, not that it's going to move imminently because it probably needs some sort of excuse, right? Technically, it's set up to bounce, but it's going to need that geopolitical excuse, or it's going to need to see natural gas going up or something like that, or headlines out of Europe about how people are going to be freezing in the winter over there, like something like that. Maybe the next excuse, next catalyst to bring these technical oversold things to fruition, levels to fruition, and get a turnaround. So that's why I picked UUU. Now, HYRE, we've been watching this for a while. Man, if I wasn't busy on this show, I probably would have tried to sell some at 155 here, 150. 150 is a resistance level, okay? The next resistance level is 2. There's a press release out this morning that it's just a regurgitation of the prior press release, 100 million. So they're trying to really push this stock up. Now, I noted this yesterday, and this was almost another trade of the week pick for me. I asked Wolf Spaces, I'm like, do you want another micro cap? Because I mean, they have a big audience, and I don't like to put micro caps out there, but I did VTSI. I'm like, you want a big cap or a micro cap? And they said, give us a big cap. So I went with UUUU. If they allowed a second pick to be a micro cap, I would have chosen HYRE because of the consolidation it's been having here after that $100 million financing news. Very strong performance, outperforming the market above the 20 DMA, consolidating nicely. And I think last night we said in the room that HYRE looks like it's set to jump tomorrow. Boy, were we right about that. And again, unfortunately, was not able to take advantage of this. This is now your resistance for the day, 155. So could be an interesting one to trade, and a lot of volume coming in. So good luck on that. If you own it, I own it, and I'm looking to sell the two resistance levels. By the way, if you break 150 and if you see that it becomes support, then your next resistance is going to be 2 to 207 area. Okay. So that's HYRE. ALTO still monitoring this. It had a strong day yesterday. Looks like a W pattern forming here. This one, the catalyst is a 50 million buyback. It's a low 5 PE in the agriculture sector, but it's got 2 moving averages that are blocking it right now. But it looks like it could be heading for a MACD flip. I don't know a ton about this company, except someone who I trust recommended this to me some time ago, and it's been on my watch list. So I got that buyback catalyst as an excuse to get in. So I don't think I got it. I'm right around here. I think I got in on this day. So I'm close to break even at this point, hoping for this to break out of these resistance levels, but it may not, right? Yeah, it's a tough market for stocks to break out of resistance levels. So we'll see what happens with ALTO. SEAC, been watching this. I really like this from a story trading perspective. Oh, look, you have the MACD flip. Lots of great catalysts on this recently. With the earnings report was great. The deal with Dish was great. Their balance sheet is pretty good right now. You had insider buys last quarter, but unfortunately not the last few days I was hoping for. But this morning you have new news: Sea Change to Power streaming of the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022 for Grupo TV cable. So I don't know how big Grupo TV cable is, but their catalysts keep on coming for SEAC. There was some action at the end of the day on some volume over here. So hopefully that will continue, and you've really got to break out of 55 cents, get blocked at 55 cents. So those are your levels, 55, and then boom, we'll see if that can happen. So pretty interesting action and setups for both SEAC and HYRE today. And of course, VTSI, looking at Rumble there, 1550. Got to get off this soon so I can put in some limit orders just above 14. Okay, DRIO had some news. I'm meeting with the CEO today privately at 10 a.m. to address some concerns, right? At this point, it's been a while. I mean, I have some concerns, and you can see the stock's been going down, but there's been no news, no catalyst. They finally got some news out, 2 employer contracts. I have to say, I'm not sure that that's enough. It's to address the concerns I have about their annual recurring revenue and the speed at which they're getting these employer contracts on. I have some concerns about that. Are these 2 enough to address those concerns? Superficially, for me, it's not. Now, this has been sold off so badly that you can understand if it gets bought up and you see a positive day for DRIO. So that may definitely happen. I'm going to withhold any judgment on this and the importance of this contract, until I talk to the CEO. But 20 DMA here, in case it really does move today, you got the 20 DMA at 440. And that's like a big move, right? To go from 374 close to 440. But honestly, it can happen because it's just been down so much that moving to the 20 DMA is really not a big deal, and it really means nothing long term. So consider that. You can take a stock going from 374 to 440. It can definitely happen, and it can definitely mean absolutely nothing. So, but it's a great trade opportunity if you're able to do that. So that's a possibility for DRIO today. Although I'm not predicting that. Okay. So then we got TPCS. We kind of missed this news yesterday because I was so busy with RUM and the all-day live stream. But there was a lot of conversation in the TPS research group. There were one or two SEC filings, one related to some debt that was due. They renegotiated. So now there's no fear of them defaulting or anything like that. And also, they propose a reverse stock split, which will help them get uplisted. So definitely 2 pieces of very good news on TPCS. This one's been a very frustrating stock, but 165 is your level, your resistance level, and if I had to bet, I'd say it's still going to be a little bit sleepy for the next few days. We'll see. Maybe as we get closer to a reverse split and this thing actually uplisting, maybe at that point we can break out over 165 and see this thing run. So that's a VIP pick by Mark Gumbs, defense company stock. All right, we got PHUN. We'll be interviewing management at 1 p.m. today, public live stream. We'll probably start that public live stream early so we can do a little bit of trading or looking at RUM. By the way, I'm just looking at HYRE. There's a massive bid just came through at $1.44, like 250,000 share bid, something like that. It just flashed and disappeared. And the total volume is 437,000. So you're talking about 50% of the daily volume in one bid at 144. So something's definitely going on with HYRE. So anyway, but PHUN has had a very strong chart here, really outperformed the market. Very nice pattern. You can see the 200-week moving average up here. I don't own this stock. I'm not a really big advocate for this stock because I really don't still fully understand what their business is. I can't independently validate, the growth of their business. And there's been some questions in the past about the company and the credibility. So fundamentally, that's a question for me, but the sentiment is super high. The technicals are great. The balance sheet is actually very good now. And because of its meme status, this has been grouped in with the Trump stocks. Now, DWAC is on its way to death, I think. At this point, like RUM is the leader of the Trump stocks. And now PHUN is part of that group. It's PHUN and RUM and DWAC still momentarily for now. But in any case, PHUN has benefited from this, and they had that huge spike, and they've held a lot of their gains. I mean, before DWAC went public, they were under $1. Now they're $1.78, and they've really cleaned up their balance sheet because they're able to do ATM offerings with no warrants at great prices. So this is one of the things that I love about meme stocks and retail stocks. It gives an opportunity for stocks which the hedge funds don't believe in, investment bankers don't believe in. And if they wanted to raise money from that crowd, they'd be like diluted to death. There'll be death spiral financing and crazy stuff like that. So this is an opportunity, whether it's RUM or DWAC or GameStop or AMC or PHUN, it's an opportunity for retail to support the stock so management can clean up their balance sheet. These terrible deals with warrants and discounts and things like that and death spirals. So that's a positive, right? I really like that trend. I think there's a place for that trend in society and in the stock market. Sometimes retail will be right. And we'll be able to speculate about the future better than institutions and the establishment. I really believe that. So there's definitely a story here to look at. We're willing to hear management today at 1 p.m. to understand. They reached out to me and I drilled them. I'm like, look, I don't advocate for stocks unless the fundamentals are good. And tell me about where you're at with revenue and cash flow and profitability. And they have a story they want to tell in terms of the fundamentals. And in fact, the conversation was very fundamentally oriented. They really didn't care about the attention they're getting because it's grouped in as a Trump stock. They don't really want to talk about that. They want to talk about their revenue growth and their products. So let's see what they have to say. Maybe there is something there. Okay. GANX was a disappointment. That good data Saturday, but the price reaction was a disappointment. Now the CEO left. Now we know based on the presentation we had a couple Monday nights ago that was probably inevitable. This is not a real CEO. He's an investor. Is there for a short period, transition period. The COO has now been promoted to CEO, and the former CEO is now going to be a strategic advisor and it's still on the board. Jason Assad, who presented this to our community, did reach out to me this morning as we see HYRE jump to 157 now, high of pre-market, and you see that 250,000 share bidder brought up his bid to 155. Only 50,000 got filled, down to 200,000 bids. So someone is desperate to buy HYRE this morning for some reason. That bodes really well for the possibility of this hitting $2. So okay, well anyway, GANX. We'll try to get more updates from Jason Assad on that. But here, let's go look at HYRE real quick as we come up towards the open in a second. Very, very big volume. So I don't know if a short is caught off guard here or if this is just someone with big money trying to move the stock. But at this point, here we go. If we hold this open, yeah, man, I am looking forward to selling this stock close to $2 today at this point. So that's great news. I got to get off this call quick so I can put in those orders. All right, what else we got? Here is something I want to bring to your attention because of the technicals down here at the 50 DMA. We usually look for catalysts on the morning show, but sometimes when we get the catalyst, it's already a little bit too late. In this case, I just wanted to give you a heads up. This is all the way at the 50 DMA. Maybe it's a buy here. I don't own it now. This is a stock with the FDA decision to make hearing aids more accessible OTC. This stock stands to benefit, but there's a lot of stuff going on in terms of some financing and rights offerings, which I don't fully understand. I didn't have time to research. So definitely, if you're going to dive into that, let's have a conversation in the VIP research room or the trading room about this, the fundamentals on EAR and the share structure on EAR and the rights offering and the financing to make sure this isn't going to go lower because the rights offering is at 50 cents. So that looks like a scary number compared to 150. I don't know what that's going to mean for price action. So something to look at there. QUIK, just want to look at the support level after that huge news, 7 million order up to 72 million from the federal government. It's coming back toward this. This looks like a great deal to me. If it comes back to where it was before the news, it's getting into that zone. So watch QUIK. I really like that stock at this point. We got that higher bidder down to 100,000 shares out of 250, 100,000 shares left, 60,000 shares, 30,000 shares is about to be taken out at 155, 30,000 shares left. Okay, but nonetheless, that's going to catch traders' eyes with a big buyer and over the 150 resistance level here on pre-market. All right. I did want to see if we could talk about support levels and things on other stocks like Air, Fry, Celsius, SMSI. All of these I'm showing you now. These are all solid stocks with great fundamentals. All of them. Air, Fry, Celsius, SMSI, Clearfield, Com, Rel, Plab. All of these solid companies. I own most of them. Most of those are VIP picks. So with that, guys, thank you for joining us. I'll see you on the live stream. We'll probably start it early, around 12:30, and we'll have the interview with FUN at 1 p.m. Good luck today. Thanks for joining us. And if you want to get this live stream at 9 a.m. as a VIP, you can go to StoryTrading.com. We now have a 7-day free trial. Okay, so money shouldn't be an issue. You can try it 7 days free. If you don't like it, you can cancel. Hope to see you soon as a VIP. Have a great day, folks.